So you will notice that the van has moved. Let me introduce you to somebody. This is Louie. Say hello,
Hi, how
Louie.
you doing? My name is Louie. Just helping the gentleman resolve a problem that several mechanics say they're mechanics, but they're literally not. And I would love to know these people that he deals with, because it's just so hard to know to help somebody out and give a hand and to instruct the person not to spend their money the way he shouldn't be spending his money. I am so glad he's back on the road.
You blew it, Louie. All right, so here's what happened. The engine's fine. I'm still gonna pull it apart just to make sure everything is happy hunky-dory because I have to. However, I'll let you spill the beans because you figured it out. Although I'm just gonna point this out. Larry pointed this out 3 weeks ago. And I went, is it? And he said, yeah. So go ahead, tell him what it is.
It was actually the alternator, bearing inside the alternator.
Thank you to Louie for hooking a brother up. That solves both problems. Ding! I hate you, Christopher. You ruined my whole fucking week, asshole. All right. In the meantime, Louie and I are going to do a little surgery on Sunday. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 17 years.
17 years?
Yeah.
How many of these have you seen?
Oof, a lot.
Really?
You don't see that many of these Francis, but I did a lot in the 17 years. I don't know how many windows I changed.
Oh my
over
God.
17 years. Yeah,
Wow.
but I love my job.
I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't do it for
Yes,
17 years.
We all over, all over the state. Well, we only covered New Jersey, so we all over, the state of New Jersey.
And how long's he been doing it?
He's been doing 2 years. He's learning. He's getting there.
He's getting good. Okay, supreme irony. Here is the glass installer. I want you to see this. This motherfucker has cracked glass on his vehicle. That is irony. Oops. So installing the glass, they broke the glass. To get at the alternator, you have to remove this guy and this guy. Right there. That pulley, that's the alternator. Yeah, that part right there. That's the alternator. You see that? The knee bent. Way cool. Alrighty, I have a plan. It's not a great plan, but it's my plan. And that's what we're going with. So what's the plan? The plan is I'm gonna drive 50 miles south to this place, You Wrench It, that you're looking at right now. I've I've already rented the space. I have a scheduled appointment there at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for 6 hours. I'm gonna basically pull the van apart yet again. Only this time, I get to do it by myself with proper tools. Fortunately, I know the procedure. I know it quite well. I've done it, at this point, watched it done 5-6 times. Done it twice myself. So I know what has to happen. So here's what's going on. Right now, the van is what's called idle hunting. I was about to say idle pulling. Idle hunting. What does it mean? It means that it's going... It can't find its right idle. So there are 4 possible solutions as to why this is happening. One of them is what I think it is, which is that when Christopher pulled off the engine cover, thank you very much, Christopher, for fucking up my van, because you didn't know dick about a Ford Transit Connect. When that happens, you have to isolate the crankshaft pulley. What could also be the problem is the fuel rail, which I'm showing you right now. The fuel rail is bad, or the spark plugs are bad, or the coil packs are bad. Well, we know that, chamber number 1 is filled with oil at this point, and I know why this is happening at this point. So it finally dawned on me where all this oil is coming from. Duh, it's coming from the timing chain air, from the engine cover. Anyways, you don't need to know that. I needed to know that. So let's address those other 3 problems. One is the spark plugs. They're fine, so it's not the spark plugs. The coil packs are fine. They don't need to be replaced. Or it's the coil pack connectors. It's the harness. That needs to go bye-bye. So all 3 of those things are just fine. It's not the best, they're not the best, but they didn't need replacing 3 years ago. So 2 years ago. So and they magically need replacing now. Yeah, not happening. When I pulled off of those components a couple of days ago, or last week, they look just fine to me. They look the same way that they did when I pulled them off the last time. So not so much with that idea. I'm thinking valve replacement, not valve replacement, valve readjustment. All right. If that fails, if tomorrow does not solve my problem, then I am taking the van to Ford, handing them the key, explaining the problem to them, and then paying for the diagnostic. And then I'll go back and solve the problem myself. Because Ford probably wants $19 million to do the simplest fucking thing. Okay. First and foremost, thanks, Christopher, for ruining my whole fucking life. Secondly, thank you very much to Chris for hooking a brother up. And lastly, and certainly not leastly, thank you very much to Larry for holding my hand throughout this entire process. That's what I got going on, kiddies. So I'll pick you up tomorrow.